Hello everyone, Jeff with the Green Review. Ash trees like this one are common in natural areas and urban areas. In some towns, they account for 40% of all the trees. They provide a lot of benefits to the environment and into urban areas. Unfortunately, they're in danger of being wiped out across North America due to the invasive emerald ash borer. Emerald ash borers came from Asia, where they infest already sick and dying trees. However, in North America, they infest healthy trees and kill them in just a few years. They've been discovered in 35 states and 5 Canadian provinces. Everywhere they've been discovered, they have killed many trees and caused many more to be cut down in hopes of slowing their spread. Experience has shown that borers get into an ash tree and cause damage for several years before it is noticed. No matter where you live, you should keep an eye on your ash trees. The top corner of this tree has been infected with ash borers, and that's why its branches are dying off in that upper corner. Since this borer only affects trees in the genus Fraxinus, it's helpful to know if we have one of those trees. Even without leaves, we can narrow down the choice to the few kinds of native trees that have their leaves, buds, and branches arranged in an opposite pattern rather than alternating left and right, up and down the tree branches. Our most common trees that have the opposite pattern are the ash, dogwood, eucalyptus, maple, olives, and viburnum. So when you have a branch like this, you can see that the leaves are arranged in pairs. They're going two this way, two this way, two this way, and at the end there's another pair. So we can see, even without the leaves, we can see where those leaves were, and we can see the pairings, and then we can look on a tree and we can actually see the opposite growth pattern of the branches. Now, ash leaves are compound. So the ash trees and a few of the maples have compound leaves. All the other families of opposite branching have simple leaves. The compound leaves have a bud at the base and no buds along the route of the rest of the leaf. So there's a bud down here, but there's none up on the rest of this leaf. And that's the definition of a leaf. So these are compound leaves. Box elder maples and paperbark maples and a few others have a few leaflets, 3, maybe 5, and occasionally on the box elder 7, but the ashes will usually have 7 to 11 leaflets with 1 at the end. So there's an odd number, and so you have a leaf like this with 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 leaflets, and this is very common on ash trees. The adult borer is a small beetle that is only around from mid-May until sometime in August in the northern states. It has bright green wing covers, and the body under the wings is a metallic purple or reddish color. The adult is only around a ½ inch long and can easily fit on a penny. There are other green insects, but most are much larger. The adult's emergence closely coincides with the period when black locust trees bloom. This phenological indicator is a reliable predictor of emerald ash borer emergence across a wide region, ranging from northern Michigan to the Mississippi River to Kentucky and Maryland. The larval stage can be found in infested trees year-round, and it is a flat, multi-segmented worm. Each larva creates short, S-shaped tunnels as it eats and kills an area of cambium tissue about the size of a playing card. An ash can recover from the damage caused by 1 or 2 larvae, but cannot recover when dozens of borers eat all around the cambium. There are several symptoms that signal an ash tree may be infested with the borer larva. The first thing that most people will notice is a lot of dead branches up high in the top of the tree. Second, infested trees often send a bunch of new shoots on the middle of the trunk or down at ground level. Third, there may be vertical cracks in the bark which may be loose around the crack. Under the bark, there are serpentine tunnels left by the borer. And fourth, when the adults hatch out from under the bark in May or June, they exit the trunk through a hole shaped like a D, but it may be upside down or on its side. Unlike most other trees that die, an ash quickly becomes a hazard. Other trees may stay standing and have large branches for many years, but after an ash tree dies, it becomes brittle and the large branches break off and the trunk can snap. If your tree does not show any signs of infestation, you can preemptively remove it, you can do nothing, or you can begin chemical treatments. The most successful chemical treatment a homeowner can apply is Bayer's Advanced Tree and Shrub Systemic Insect Control with active ingredient of imidacloprid, following the label directions. It has a borer kill rate of between 80 and 90%. It needs to be reapplied every year. Large trees require larger doses of imidacloprid. Homeowners can use Plant Care Sciences Optrol insecticide, which has a concentrated formula. Professional arborists have other chemical treatments that have a higher kill rate and can last 2 years. They require injection sites in the trunk of the tree. This injures the tree and it must heal over these wounds, so nothing is perfect. Every tree has a different value depending on where it's at in the landscape, how much shade it produces, its age, its health, not counting the borer, its historical value to the homeowner. So there's a lot of factors need to be taken into account before you would remove a tree. Current science supports saving ash trees rather than removing trees. It seems that even on large trees, chemical treatments are a more sensible and effective method of stopping the ash borers. So if ash borers are within 30 miles of your landscape, you need to start doing treatments. So check with your local extension service to find out how close they are. A few years ago, no chemicals were available. Now there's several. And there's even parasitic wasps that are being tested to see if they can be a biological control. The EPA has registered 3 ingredients as chemicals that can be used against emerald ash borers. Dinotefuran is for bark and soil treatments. Imimactin benzoate is for injections. And imidacloprid can be used in soil and trunk injections. Obviously, you need to follow label directions, and some of these chemicals may only be available for professional arborists, not homeowners. Another factor here is we must not move firewood anymore. Firewood is what spread the emerald ash borer to a lot of places around the country that it didn't need to be spread to. People going to tailgate parties, people going on camping trips, a lot of people spread emerald ash borers by taking the dead logs that were cut down from dead ash trees that had the emerald ash borer, and they've spread the insect all over the country, and it's still spreading. So we need to stop doing that. And we need to stop removing those firewood and other greenwood branches and trunks, because there's other insects and disease organisms that can also be spread. So we really need to stop moving firewood around. Just buy it local and don't spread the insects and diseases that they can be harboring. So to find out more information about emerald ash borers, go to emeraldashborer.info. The website has a lot of information. There's several different documents you can download there and find out through the maps how close the emerald ash borer is to your landscape, and you can decide on when to start your treatments. And this is Jeff with a Greener View. Thanks for watching.